How you doing, folks? A little bit different video this week. We're going to talk about kitchen knives. How much money do you have to spend to get a decent kitchen knife? This set right here, I purchased 6 years ago. $29.95, I believe, at Target. 6 years ago. Is it sharp? Yes, it's sharp. But how sharp? How sharp? Let's see how sharp. It's that sharp. $30 for a knife set. Now, they didn't come that sharp. I made them that sharp. How I made them that sharp? This is what I started off with. These two right here. I got this at a garage sale. I think I paid $1. It was a sharpening kit, and it had like a case. It only had these two in it. Nothing else. Everything else was missing. And this is what I used. One coarse, one fine. They're cheap diamond stones. I don't even know the name brand. But that's what I started with, and that's what I've been using for 6 years. And this is my go-to knife. The rest of these are not quite as sharp. They're Cuisinart. This one is extremely dull. I hardly ever use it, but it'll still cut a tomato without squishing it. Let's see how sharp. Yeah, it's still pretty sharp. Still pretty sharp. But I've always wanted something better. I found this set on Marketplace, paid $30 for it. And this would be my go-to knife. I don't even know the name brand of this. And turn this around. Elegant Life. I found these on Marketplace, and these are available on Amazon for $70. Again, I paid $30 for them. I haven't warmed up to these knives yet. They're heavier. These are they're very light. They're Cuisinart. It's a good knife. It'll cut a tomato where you can see through it. I haven't done anything with these knives. I've been using them, but I'm just not warmed up to these knives yet. Will it shave a tomato? Yeah, not quite as sharp as them Cuisinarts, but I haven't worked these knives yet. But these are a lot heavier. They're bigger. I mean, this is my go-to blade. This would be the blade that would match it. Big chef's knife. They've got a different weight. Like I said, I've been using Cuisinart blades. I've been using them for six plus years. And I'm used to the weight, which there is no weight to them. They're very light. But I'm used to them. These are pretty heavy. And again, these are stainless, and these are stainless. Do you really need to spend $150, $200 on a knife set? If you have the money, do it. Because what you're going to get much better steel. You're going to get a balance. These are not balanced. They're front heavy, very front heavy. Balances on these is going to be right there. Balance on these. They're almost balanced. Really are. But they're very light. They're extremely light. But how do I sharpen these? I'm not an expert at sharpening. I really don't want to give a tutorial on how I sharpen because I don't want you to learn bad habits because I am not a professional sharpener. Can I sharpen my blades? Yes. If I try to do a tutorial on sharpening blades and you have a decent set of knives, say you spend $199 on sale and they're regularly $130 or something, you get them on sale for $99, or it's a nice set that you got for a present and you follow my techniques and you ruin your knife set. I'd hate for somebody to do that, but basically with the coarse stone, I find an angle that I like, and you just a couple of times, and then the fine blade take and hone the blade. You don't want to you want to develop a burr, but I really don't want to give a tutorial on that. But you can leave a comment. Please subscribe and leave a comment if you do want me to leave a tutorial, make a tutorial, because I don't use these anymore. For my work knife, my pocket knife that I use at work for cutting electrical wire and packages open and stuff, I still use these. But this set I purchased, these are whetstones. These you soak in water. This one is 800 grit. These are from King, I believe, King Stones. Got them on Amazon. I think I paid, I don't even remember how much I paid for this, like 40 bucks maybe. This set, which is 1,000 grit and a 6,000 grit, plus this handle or this block to put them in. And you soak these in water for 20, 30 minutes. And what I do is I put them in a sheet pan after they're done soaking, after I put them in this holder. I put them in a sheet pan because every now and then you put a little water on it and you wipe the slurry off and keep on sharpening. But the 1,000 grit really doesn't feel like 1,000 grit. It feels more like 1,200 grit. And the 6,000 grit is not 6,000 grit. That's more like an 8,000 grit. So I purchased this one separately, which is a 800 grit. This really doesn't feel like 800 grit. This feels like 1,000 grit. But they do a nice job. They do a very nice job. There's a big learning curve with them. How to sharpen with whetstones. But if you purchase a knife set, it comes with its home. And with the home, just be careful. It has this blade, this thing, so in case you go down. But you can do them away from you. If you're first learning how to do this, you can do them away from you. Again, you want to put a little angle. I hold them flat, put a little angle on, and just give it 4 or 5, and 4 or 5 coming back. And this home was a piece of crap that came with that. It was extremely garbage. And it'll still shave a tomato. This set that I just purchased, like I said, I haven't warmed up to it yet. I'm still kind of on the fence about this knife set. Like I said, I only paid $30 for it. I mean, it looks cool. It's got like a hammered finish on it, which is not really a hammered finish. Like this knife is pretty dull. Looks like whoever owned this before, they didn't use a lot of them knives. This one looks like they've used a couple of times. Yeah. I mean, it'll shave a tomato, but I'm pretty much just sawing at it. That's a bread knife, the big kitchen chef's knife, which for me, this is way too big. Really, it's very unbalanced. It's very nose heavy, very nose heavy. And will it cut? Yeah, this one's pretty sharp. It's pretty sharp. But I thought it was a better set than when I got there. Looks like they use the kitchen shears a lot. Can opener on it, a screwdriver on it. These are junk. They'll probably just throw them in the junk drawer. The hone on this is a nice hone. Compared to this Cuisinart hone, this Cuisinart hone it hardly even has any ribs. But this hone is pretty good. And I can tell the difference. You can hear the difference. Now with a hone, all you're doing is just taking a burr off. You're not really sharpening. All you're doing is just taking a burr off. And yeah, just that little bit of dragging on that hone. Because this knife didn't even want to cut before. Now it's cutting pretty decent. It's mushing the tomato a little bit. Mushing the tomato a little bit. Not like this one. This one's still cutting pretty good. But this set gets dull very quickly. Very quickly. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this set. I might sharpen them up and just put them back on Marketplace for $30. When I saw these handles, and I saw the hammered finish, and they advertised it as high carbon steel, I jumped on them. And I got there, and I was like, all right, well, that's not high carbon steel. Even Amazon promotes these as high carbon stainless steel. Those of you that know knives, high carbon steel is different than stainless steel. Does stainless steel have high carbon in it? Yeah, it can, but it's not high carbon steel. It's stainless steel. It's got a lot of chrome in it. Chrome, manganese, maybe some nickel. But it's not a bad set. It's got weight to it. Like I said, I haven't even sharpened this set yet. I may sharpen this set up, and I may fall in love with the set and just throw them in a back cabinet somewheres and use them as garage knives. I don't know, but leave me a comment if you want to see a little tutorial on how to use a whetstone. But this is not a bad set. Like I said, if you have the money and you want to spend $150, $200 on a knife set, get it. You'll be very happy. You'll have a more balanced blade. You'll have carbon steel instead of stainless. That's what you want. You want carbon steel. Carbon steel will hold its edge better than stainless. Stainless is a lot thinner because it's harder. It's a harder material. They tend to stay sharper longer than carbon steel, but just on carbon steel, running it on a hone will bring the edge right back. This, I could use a hone a couple of times, then I got to put them on a whetstone and reprofile that edge. But do you really need to spend a lot of money on kitchen knives? No. I mean, this was a $29.95, brand new. out of the box store. I believe it was Target that I got it on sale at about 6 years ago. I've been using them for 6 years, and let's see if I can just take the skin off this tomato. Yeah, I mean it's still pretty sharp. I could literally take the skin off a tomato. So I mean, you don't need expensive stuff. You don't need expensive pots and pans. You don't need expensive kitchen utensils. You definitely don't need an expensive kitchen knife set. You just got to learn how to cut or how to sharpen your knives. And again, you need to learn how to cut to be safe in a kitchen. There are kitchen accidents that happen all the time. Professional chefs cut their fingers a lot. They'll get fast and they'll start chopping. Take your time. Always bend your knuckle. Put that knife against your knuckle as you cut. You'll never get cut. Take your time. Take your time. All right. Again, if you like this type of content, let me know. Leave a comment. Please subscribe and leave a comment. If you like this kind of content, you want to see more kitchen utensils, you want to see more how to sharpen, how to cut, how to chop, how to fillet. If you want to learn those and you want me to do a tutorial on that, just leave me a comment. All right, y'all. Till next week, take care.